Hello, and welcome to the Visibility Show. I'm here interviewing.
Jennifer Lee. I am currently living in New Jersey. I am bisexual, and last year I got married to a wonderful woman. Um, and that's my introduction.
I was there for the wedding. There were tears. There were tears. There's a picture of it. Sure.
It's your picture when you text me on my phone. That's what comes up.
Oh God. Chances are I'm probably going to like pull that up somewhere in here.
It's just like right here, like ding, I got married. Ding, kitty cry.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we're going to start off this interview with a simple question, Jen. What are your pronouns?
My pronouns are she, her.
Yes. How did coming out affect you?
So here's the thing. I didn't really come out. I just skipped that step. I realized I was bisexual later in life, probably when I was about 23. And I just kind of dropped it into random conversations and then kept those conversations moving. So I remember the first time I said it to my mom. We were on the phone talking about a relative who is not friendly with the LGBT community. And I was teasing and saying, I kind of just want to call her up and say, oh, you invited a bisexual to your holiday party. And then we just kept going. And I don't really know what my mom's reaction was. Since then, she has told me that she suspected I might be gay when I was growing up. So I don't think it came as much of a surprise. But that's kind of just been how I've handled coming out. I remember I did it with two of my aunts, just dropped it into conversation and kept going. I mean, you and I have known each other since I was 15, and you probably found out about it on Facebook when I started posting pictures of my girlfriend along with everyone else. So yeah, I mean, it's a non-issue for me, and I know I'm very privileged being able to say that. I grew up in a very accepting family, other than obviously the relative I was talking about earlier. But you know, I was able to just kind of be myself, and I realized my sexual orientation after I was already out of the house and living on my own. So I wasn't really held accountable to anyone. So I was able to go on dates with men, I was able to go on dates with women, and I never had to explain myself at that point in my life.
That's beautiful. Like to just be able to go, whatever, I am.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try this. And you know, for a long time I kind of, you know, it's a journey figuring out how you feel and what's going on inside of you. So for a while I thought, oh, I'm bisexual, but I'm hetero-romantic. So like at a party when I'm drinking, maybe I'll kiss a girl, but like I couldn't date one. And then I guess I was online dating, and I was like, oh, what if I put bisexual? What if I went on a date with a girl? What if I tried this? And again, I think, you know, I was very privileged, and I was able to try it out. And obviously it worked out well for me. But you know, it's one of those things that I was very lucky going through the whole process.
What type of stereotypes associated with you being bisexual that you absolutely hate?
Oh, so many. First of all, I dislike the word bisexual. And I know that language has evolved, and pansexual is kind of on similar ground. I dislike that as well. And the main reason is as soon as I say I'm bisexual, you're imagining my sex life. and it's not about who I'm in love with or how big my heart is or who I can let in. So I kind of hate that when I say I'm bisexual, people, especially people not part of this community, are thinking other things. So part of that feeds into the stereotype of bisexuals just want threesomes. They're just available for you to have a threesome. When I was online dating, the amount of messages I got from couples, it was just disheartening. And it was one of those things where, you know, like I said before, I was trying to figure it all out and trying to explore. And it was discouraging to think this is what it means, and it's not. So there's that. There's the stereotype of it being a phase, being a stepping stone. You know, obviously, I'm married to a wonderful woman. I still consider myself bisexual. I am still definitely bisexual. And I think that that gets erased in the stereotype very often.
Now, just to be very candid with our audience, so this is the first time Jen and I have actually talked about this. And so we're both like excited and nervous to be sharing this experience with you guys. So it's like, my reaction is like genuine reactions. I'm like, I didn't know all this and I'm loving it. I'm gonna skip a couple questions just because you really did answer a good majority of them.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot.
Oh no, hon, do it. I guess the next question will be, what was the first time you saw yourself as a bisexual woman represented in media? Correctly, yeah. I'll say correctly.
Absolutely, because obviously it's everywhere. It's in, you know, the butt of every joke. It's in every sexual kink that you find on like the horrible cop shows where they're just terrible people. The first time I saw it correctly shown was Callie Torres on Grey's Anatomy, which was doubly exciting because I'm a huge fan of hers. I saw her in Spam-A-Lot when she was on Broadway originally, and I was so excited when she went on Grey's just because I loved her, and then to watch her go through the journey. But she's definitely the first person I saw, especially the first person I saw who labeled it, who definitively said, I am bisexual, this is what that means, you can't tell me differently. Because so many times too, I feel like a character will come out as bi and it gets thrown away. It gets thrown away either because they're in a relationship with someone of either sex, but then it just becomes, that's what they are. They're gay or they're straight, period. But she's the first one who really fought for it. And Sada Ramirez, who plays her, is phenomenal, but she's become such an activist after Grey's, which is kind of great to follow as well.
I absolutely adore Sarah Ramirez, or Ramirez, however you pronounce it. I'll probably edit this part out. But like, there's so many similarities between her and you that I'm just like, they're both ridiculously very similar and beautiful, and I love it.
Yeah, there was a time a few years ago I got a lot of, you look just like her, and that was kind of my identity, because that's what you do when you're young. But also, she was this incredible character and all that other stuff that I said.
Sorry, I'm like, because like you're answering so many other questions together, which is great. I'm loving it. And it's gonna just make this go by so much quicker. And I'm over here like, oh damn. I'm gonna move some questions around. My next question for you would be, what should someone say when someone comes out to them?
Well, it probably isn't what I said to you when you came out to me. In hindsight.
But truthfully, for audience sake, it was a really beautiful, pretty, and innocent moment. I love it.
It was, and I meant it with all my heart, and I still love you. And I hope you still love me. I think, you know, it's so hard to say what people should say. It's so much easier to say what not to say. And I think an important one not to say is, I knew already. Because it's such a big deal to work up that courage for the people who actually do come out, to work up that courage and make that proclamation to you. I think it's really important to treat it as the important moment it is. Even if you had an inkling, even if, you know, you don't care, in the grand scheme of being accepting and being a friend, it's still important to them. And I think it's important to treat the moment with that respect and coming at it from that angle.
That makes a lot of sense. That that makes a lot more, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, I guess my final question for you would be, how can people make you feel seen as a bisexual woman?
Just not erasing it. I think that that's one of the hardest things with bisexuality and pansexuality is, you know, it just gets erased. And I do it too. I mean, it's so easy for me to be at home with my wife and say, oh, we're just, you know, a couple of lesbians and blah, blah, blah. And we're not at the core of it, but sometimes it's easier to kind of put that umbrella on it. And I think just trying to think of what other people can do, and it's kind of hard because I don't know, not that I haven't felt seen, but I can't pinpoint anything that people have done for me. I think just sticking up for any bisexuals that you know. If someone mislabels them, just remind them, oh, no, actually, he's not gay, he's bi. She's not a lesbian, she's bi. But I mean, that's tricky too, because you also want to make sure that the person you're talking about is comfortable with you doing that.
Right.
So that's a really hard question to kind of answer in an umbrella way. So for me personally, I think it would be that, the non-erasure, the making sure, reminding people. That's a really hard question. And I had this question beforehand. I was supposed to be prepared, and it's just such a hard question. There was nothing I could do.
Okay. It's okay. So how about this? Go ahead and sort of say what you were going to say, and what I'll do is I'll cut out a good majority of this part to make it look like, oh,
well, I try and figure it out.
I am actually really loving this right now. Because I know for me, and I'm just gonna sort of, for me, it's don't look at me as, oh, they need help. Look at me as, that's a person who is living their truth. And honestly, since I've been in Tennessee, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I have been living my truth, honey. Like, I have not been this gay in so long that I'm just like, oh, I guess this is who Kenny really was inside. He was just like dormant, just waiting to be let free. But like what you said, when you didn't have to really come out. You were just like, I'm bisexual. Okay, let's continue on.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. So I guess for you to be seen, don't erase the fact that I'm bisexual, and
and also just keep moving on. Like, don't fixate on it. Going back to Grey's Anatomy again, when T.R. Knight was forced out of the closet on the set of the show, one of the most amazing things that I think he said about it was, being gay is the least interesting thing about me. And I feel like that's true for so many of us. Like, okay, I'm bisexual, let's move on. I also work in theater. I'm also very passionate about storytelling. I'm also trying to learn Spanish and being terrible at it. Like, there's so many other things that are so much more interesting to talk about. I think.
Amen. I like that. I like that. I like that. Well, Jen, it has been an honor to interview you. Like, I'm so happy right now that
Yeah, this has been great.
We were nervous going into this, and then we just like loosened up. And it's only been like 10 minutes. But Jen, thank you for giving up your time to talk to me and to share your story with the Visibility Show. And it means a lot to me. So thank you so much, hon.
It means a lot to me to be included. Thank you.